Hi, my name is Noah Benzing, and I've been restoring parts of my Hammond L-103 spinet organ, namely right now the Hammond AO-43 amplifier. And I'm going through and replacing all the dry electrolytics and just all the capacitors in general, as well as these power resistors, which I'm going to get to here in a minute. And after that, I might as well carbon resistors go for replacing all these carbon resistors. And these ceramic disc capacitors, I'm not too worried about those, but you never know. So I could replace those too with the cheap. So far I've dumped about $30 capacitor into this thing. But the real part of the project here that's going to be interesting in the next week or so is replacing both of these multi-section dry electrolytic can capacitors. Both of these are exactly the same. They have 50 microfarads of capacitance and are rated at 450 volts. And what I'm going to have to do is remove both of them and use a Dremel tool to cut around the base of the can, and then using a method I've seen online, I'll take a corkscrew, a wine bottle corkscrew, cork remover, and pull out all the electrolytic material, and then take the new capacitors that I've ordered and stuff them up inside the cans, and run the leads down to these terminals. And I'm going to do the same thing for this capacitor here, which is exactly the same as these. It's a 50 microfarad capacitor rated at 450 volts, but for some reason it's just by itself, it's a single, and they put it in a paper container. So that'll be a trick in itself, figuring out how to do that. And so far I've replaced this 100 microfarad 25 volt capacitor, which is right here. I've replaced this 5 microfarad 150 volt capacitor, and I've replaced both these 100 microfarad capacitors, which were rated at 3 volts. So the electronics store I went to didn't have 3 volts. They had 10 volts. So that's what I did here. I bought two 10 volt 100 microfarad capacitors, and I've ordered a value very close to this value. No, I've actually ordered this exact value, 0.047 microfarad, but they're not electrolytic. They're, I think, polypropylene metal or polyester. And I can't tell if that's electrolytic or not, but I'm not seeing a positive sign on the cap like you would with this one. So, I don't know, we'll see. Now, next here, I'm going to replace all 5 of these resistors. To remind you, this is a 1964 Hammond L-103 organ. So, for this one, I've got this. It's a brand new replacement. And these other resistors are different packaging. These are the ceramic, but they're brand new. They've never been used. So that'll help. And then we have an oddball kind of weird looking power resistor. I think it replaces this one. And nope, it replaces the middle one down here. Hey guys, well, I've been through quite a bit in replacing the electrolytics so far and some of the power resistors on my Hammond L-103 spinet AO-43 2-powered amplifier. You have to mind my voice because I'm missing my tooth and it causes me to slur a bit. The local electronics store I'm working with, and you will notice lots of electrical components. I've replaced this capacitor. It's a 100 microfarad 25 volt capacitor. I've replaced this one. I've replaced this sprig over here. It's a weird one. It's a 5 microfarad at 150 volts. And I had replacements for both of these 100 microfarad 3 volt caps. These orange ones, but man, for some reason, and these are rated at 10 volts, 10 watts instead of 3 watts. And I don't know if I had the polarity, I mean, the thing went, you know, I didn't like it at all, so I'm going to have to find a closer, something within tolerance. I've replaced several power resistors over here, including one that was a little bit different. This right here is a 64 ohm resistor. I replaced it with the closest match I could find, a 68 ohm and a 10 watt resistor. I've replaced several of these, or 2 of them at least, these smaller green resistors with ceramic wire wound resistors. I'm going to do that one tomorrow. I replaced this older wire wound resistor. It looks just as old as the original. It's hard to tell which components are good and which aren't. Tomorrow, I would like to start tackling some of these carbon resistors. I need to start replacing these. I see silver band. They're mostly silver band. There's one right there. Orange, yellow, silver. And orange, yellow, silver. 2 of them exactly alike. There's several down here. The vibrato and percussion amplifier. Both of these have electrolytics and resistors inside of them that need to be replaced. Here's a multi-section metal can capacitor. Here's one right here. And we can see that in this capacitor here, there are 3 capacitors inside that metal can. 2 50 microfarad 400 volt and a single 100 microfarad 50 volt. There's the Hammond part number. And that one will be tricky, very tricky. The one on the percussion amp, 50 microfarad 300 volt, or 3, yep, and a 50 microfarad 50 volt. Huh, strange. And also up here, if you look really closely, see that white thing sticking down? That's another electrolytic. I'll have to replace that too. And there's a bunch of resistors up there as well. Lots of resistors and other things to replace. And of course, we have our beautiful tone wheel generator here that I pretty much rebuilt. I restored it back to a working condition, thanks to Steve Lee. I think I've pretty much eliminated a lot of problems that I originally had with it. There's no more scratch in the foot pedal. So